Hello, my name is Ash and I like to draw, but do you know what else I like? Figuring out why I'm not a famous YouTuber yet. I mean, I've had this channel for 2 years. I should be rolling in subscribers by now. What gives? Is it because I post videos too infrequently, often with a month or more between them? No, that's silly. Is it because my video ideas are too niche and hyper-specific to appeal to a wide audience? No, that's dumb. Is it because social media algorithms are fundamentally a complete crapshoot that are deliberately structured in a way that asks creators to produce an unreasonable amount of content to be released within increasingly short time frames, while staying within the constantly shifting and often badly communicated parameters of the individual platform, all in order to maybe achieve even the slightest bit of momentary success? No, that's ridiculous, but if it's not one of those things, then what could it be? Not enough waifus. That's right, there is nothing the internet loves more than turning absolutely everyone and everything into a cute girl version of itself. And I mean, having an excuse to put some boobs in the thumbnail doesn't hurt either. It's a foolproof viewer farming plan. Alright, don't worry, I'm not gonna do that exactly, but for as many jokes as we can crack about this trend of girlifying everything under the sun, I do actually think it's pretty interesting to see people take various characters and objects and, well, turn them into a cute girl. I actually got this idea by watching a MASH video parodying the whole Bowsette debacle from a few years ago, where the super crown that started it all keeps landing on various Mario enemies' heads. And as silly as that video is, I really think some of these designs are genuinely great. Like that thwomp, for example. God damn!
Mamma mia! I totally get the thwomp thing now, Peach.
Yeah, go ahead and type out your Ash is a pervert comments. I probably deserve them. In all seriousness, I thought it was a pretty fun idea, and I see no reason to just stick to Mario characters. So let's just see what happens when I take a bunch of different video game enemies and give them a waifu makeover. Let's get started. For something like this to work, we need to look at franchises that have scores upon scores of interesting iconic enemies to choose from. Now there's plenty of those out there, but one that's hard to ignore is the Legend of Zelda franchise. Now, Legend of Zelda is one of those franchises where every single character has looked, acted, and sounded a multitude of ways during all the years it's been around. I mean, just look at, I don't know, the Poe, for example. I mean, geez, just look at all these. That's a lot of ways to draw a ghost carrying a lantern. But since this is the first drawing of the video, I think I'm gonna allow myself to go easy mode for now and adapt one of the Poe that already looked kinda cute. Namely, this one, from Legend of Zelda, Echoes of Wisdom. Seriously, just look at this thing. It's already small and cute. This one is practically gonna draw itself. So yeah, it was really just a matter of figuring out what kind of vibe I wanted to go for with this one. I knew right from the start that I was going to take that purple hood and adapt it into the hair of our new design, but what about the brown cloth? Do we just stretch that out and make the whole creature into a sort of bedsheet ghost? No, I don't think I want to do that. Instead, I had the idea to treat it like the face covering scarf it already kinda looks like, and simply give her 3 of them. One for the face, one to use as a top, and one to wear as a skirt. This all worked decently enough in my initial pencil sketch, but I wasn't happy with the standardized body type. After all, this Poe is kinda small and impish looking, so I figured I should take a cue from another famous mischievous little Zelda creature, Midna. Now granted, my version didn't turn out quite as pear-shaped or super deformed as Midna, but I still like to think going for a smaller, floating little impish figure helps give her a bit of charm. Especially once I drew her snickering a little to herself like she just pulled off a prank. And there she is, our little Poe. An easy enough creature to adapt into something humanoid and appealing with minimal actual changes. Alright, that was fun, but it was also a little bit too easy. And I feel like since this whole idea started with Mario, we should probably go back there and poke around a bit. Super Mario, being the most iconic platformer franchise ever with an astounding amount of games to its name, has no shortage of fun, weird-looking, iconic little critters that should prove a bit more of a challenge to adapt. But I don't want to just do a random Goomba or a Koopa. I want to get a little bit weirder with it. One thing I also definitely don't want to do is just drawing Princess Peach wearing an outfit that kinda resembles the enemy in question, like with Bowsette and Boosette. And then, right as I was telling myself these things, I found the perfect candidate. Spike, as introduced in Super Mario Bros. 3. I mean, look at this goofy little bastard. He's round, fun-looking, and lovable, and he gives the implication of being pretty damn strong, what with lifting those spiked rollers over his head. So why don't we create a round, fun-looking, and lovable strong girl to go with our impish little Poe? Yeah, I want to draw someone who's big and proud of it, so I ended up imagining this powerlifting woman flexing and smiling at the viewer while holding one of these massive rollers under her arm. Now, looking back on it, I probably should have kept Spike's dopey expression intact, but I just really wanted this picture to ooze with a positive mindset. As far as making her recognizable as a Spike goes, luckily he already has this tuft of blue hair and the black shell on his back, allowing us to give our girl a big soft-looking mohawk and a similar shell to wear. Like maybe she's wearing it for endurance training like in early issues of Dragon Ball. Who's to say? I really didn't want to just make her green-skinned and create a husky blue-haired She-Hulk though, so I had the idea of turning it all into a gym outfit and then adding the Koopa Kingdom logo to it. Like this is just what Spike wears when she goes off to lift spike rollers all day and work up a sweat. And you could probably argue that I cheated a little bit here, but just to keep it from being too simple, I did add some Spike Bowser-style bracelets and anklets, along with a couple of little spiky earrings for a bit of extra femininity. No reason you can't look cute while you're getting yoked, right? And there's Spike for ya. I really like her. She looks like a lot of fun. And like she's a hawker. The kind of hawker that cracks your spine by accident, sure, but a hawker nonetheless. Alright, that's 2 down and 1 to go, and I think we gotta up the difficulty a little. I mean, Poe was already small, cute, and kind of feminine, and Spike was already pretty humanoid, so they weren't really all that challenging. No, I think we need to get weirder with it. We need to find something less human. We need to find... Yep, that sure is, not very human looking. Yeah, the Megaman games are full of fun and interesting robot enemies. There are a bunch of humanoid ones like the Sniper Joes or several more iconic ones like the Med Hats that I could pick for this, but I said I wanted to go weird, so here I am, picking Telly, which is more or less just a can. Oh boy. Alright, this is gonna be challenging, but I'll make it work. First of all, I'm going to see if I can't adapt it into somewhat of a Mega Man-esque art style. There aren't exactly a ton of lady Mega Man characters to choose from, but referencing characters like Roll, Kalinka Cossack, and Splash Woman should allow me to find a decent base to start from. Now it's just a matter of how to make them look like a Telly, and I think I have an idea. An awful idea. A wonderful, awful idea. You might have noticed I drew my base in a dancing pose similar to something you might see in a Shantae game, and there's a reason for that. Because I think I'm gonna take these bands on either side of the Telly and use them to give her large, robotic, chunky anklets, bracelets, and even earrings. You know, on top of already using them on her waist and her bust. Doing this, we end up with a character who might have the most conventionally attractive figure of the bunch, but certainly also the one wearing the most outlandish looking oversized outfit. Which in itself is often kinda cute if you ask me. You know, I just realized that she would have to be really strong to lug this outfit around. But then again, she's most likely a robot, so I'm sure it's fine. Then we're going to use the black middle part of the Telly as a sort of one-piece swimsuit between the top and waist pieces, and voila! Telly has joined the chat. Complete with classic colossal Catcom hands. I admit she ended up kind of looking like Kalinka wearing a cosplay, but nah. If I didn't do that with the Mario series, I feel like I'm allowed to do it here. I was playing around with the idea of giving her a different hair color to avoid this, but nah. It works with the yellow buttons and breaks up the color scheme quite nicely, I think. In any case, we now have 3 waifu-fied video game enemies for the internet to lust over. And they're quite different from each other too, in order to appeal to as many tastes as possible. I'll be expecting a huge subscriber boost by tomorrow. But I want to know what you think. Which one of these 3 was your favorite? Are there any other video game enemies out there that haven't gotten the waifu treatment yet? And which ones would you like to see me try in a future video? Tell me all about it in the comments below, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you'll be the first to know when a new art video drops. And until that happens, see you later folks. Bye bye.